When I am down and oh my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burdened be, then I am still and wait here in the silence till you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas.
God gathered all of us here this morning, and we are here to give thanks to God for the life of Daniel Rottman, our brother. We are here this morning to express our love and admiration for Daniel and his our own way. We are also here to share the sorrow of those who mourn and to offer them our love and support. We all have been deeply hurt by Daniel's death, and I sincerely hope that at the end of this farewell ceremony for Daniel, you will feel glad that you took this opportunity to do some of your grieving in the presence of others who have known and loved our brother Daniel. I'd like to invite all to join me in prayer. God of gentleness and strength, comfort us with the great power of your love as we mourn the sudden death of our brother Daniel. In our grief, our confusion, help us find peace in the knowledge of your loving mercy to all your children, and give us light to guide us into the assurance of your love through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. We have come together from different places, and we are all at different stages on our journey through life. But there is one thing we are all have in common this morning. At one point or another, and to some degree or other, our lives have touched the life of Daniel. And so today, we put aside our usual daily activities for a while and gathered here to give expressions to the thoughts and feelings that well up in us at this time of loss. I would like to invite now 4 good friends of Daniel to share their words of remembrance And there will be time of music followed by for you all to reflect on your own memory of Daniel and your friendship and fellowship with Daniel that may make you teary, smile, and all other feelings as well. Let us welcome them.
Hello, I'm Jackie Rottman. I'm the CEO of Flintwood Disability Services, and I'm here to represent the service users, families, staff and management board of Flintwood. Over the last little while we've been sharing our stories, and now we want to share them with you. So, who was Daniel to us? He was unique. I think Daniel would have us all believe he had the best tattoo in town, with matching silver thick rings. He really liked the dress. The best part about it is it came with no pain and could be removed and replaced with a different one the next day. He was a musician. Daniel played the electric guitar like no one was listening. Sadly, we were. If you were in 1 mile of Daniel playing his guitar, let's just say you heard him. He had a passion for that heavy metal music, which was not always shared with Flintwood staff. He was romantic. Daniel was a handsome man, a charmer and romantic, never missing Valentine's Day or a birthday. He would give presents, and Christmas time no one was forgotten. Knowing Daniel for so many years, I now have a great stock of Christmas serving bowls that I cherish. I'm sure his mother did the shopping. One Christmas, he gave me my present. I said, "Oh, what is it?" And he said, "I don't know." But he was really proud to hand out those gifts. He was a sportsman. The footy competition at Flintwood was one of his passions, and finally last year he finally won it. With the passion he had for it, he should have won every year just for his commitment. So what we've decided to do at Flintwood, the footy competition continues on, so we're going to have a trophy in Daniel's name to continue the legacy of Daniel, for us to remember him and how important that was to us. Daniel would be laughing right now to see so many Bulldog jerseys, and I think he would believe that he's converted us all. And I guess it's true that we all carry a little Bulldog inside of us while we remember Daniel. He was adventurous. I'm sure there are many Flintwood staff who bear the scars of taking Daniel to the Easter show. Daniel had no fear of the rides. The staff, against their best judgment, thought it the right thing to do to support him on those rides. Much to their horror, the rides were just too much for them, but it didn't help that Daniel kept calling them a wimp. And then at the Easter show, the next activity was to get the fake tattoos. Everyone had to get them. Daniel never washed his off. Then at the end of the day was the show bags. I'm sure we just had to put on extra staff to carry all the show bags Daniel bought every single year. Each time he bought one, he would say, "Just one more." Daniel was a mate. He was a true mate. You would see him in deep conversations with people talking about his beloved football, girls, life, who knows. He was a great listener. Or maybe he was just too polite to move away. I'm not too sure which one. He was determined. I remember when we went on a holiday to Nelson Bay, we took the 4-wheel drive up to the beach, up to the sand dunes, and then we got the boards and would slide down the sand dunes. Of course, Daniel was the daredevil. He went to the highest point to get down as fast as he possibly could down that sand dune. We were so concerned how fast we were going, we had to set up Kay at the bottom to stop him and catch him. That didn't make any difference. He just bowled them over and kept going with absolute joy. But the thing that I remember about that was the absolute determination. Those sand dunes were so high. He picked up that board and he crawled all the way back up to the top. And that was the determination that we saw in Daniel so often. So when you look back at Daniel's life, he had a disability. But really, how did that impact on his life? He enjoyed life. He gambled. He loved his coffee, his Coke. He exercised. He loved the sports section of the newspaper. He loved, and he was loved by us. He had relationship issues like all young people. He enjoyed, with a passion, his sport. He worked and got paid. He socialised. He lived the life he wanted. His life and how he lived it is a tribute to his mother, Michael and Thomas, and how committed they were to let his disability be secondary to how he wanted to live, that of a young man. We'll miss his smile, how he made us laugh. We're privileged to be a part of his life. Thank you.
Hi, I knew Daniel for about 11 years and he was a good friend. Like whenever he rang me up, he always said how my parents were doing and all that. And if he did like something wrong, he always apologised. Like he was like very good and he liked wrestling too. And whenever we went to the football, I always saw him, like at half-time, and I'm going to miss that.
Thanks, Lauren. I'm Louise Mooney. I'm one of the General Managers at Disability Services Australia, and I've got Alex with me, who's another manager at DSA. We've had the privilege of having Daniel work for us since 2001. He works at our Condell Park factory along with 140 other people who loved Daniel enormously. He was a very much respected person in our team. Daniel, when we spoke to our employees last week about Daniel passing away, there was lots of sadness. Very, very, very sad people. But out of the sadness came some wonderful, wonderful stories and some wonderful memories. So our employees have actually put together a book for you to take away, so when you're having some sad moments later on, you can reflect on those, and hopefully it'll bring you some peace. When we spoke to Daniel, there were some key things that came out from the people that knew and loved him and worked with him for such a long time. Daniel was a joker. He had the most infectious smile, such a beautiful, beautiful smile, as everybody here would know. He was the most engaging person. Everybody loved him. So some of the words that came out to describe Daniel were cheeky. He was very cheeky. At times, very, very cheeky were the words that came out. He was funny. He was caring. He was a chatterbox. He was thoughtful. He loved his football and he loved his coffee. But overwhelmingly, everybody we spoke to said, he was my friend. And Daniel was a friend to everybody. He listened to everybody. He talked to everybody. He was very much loved. Daniel had a really close-knit friendships with a number of people who are here today. And some of them, like Lauren, have Lauren spoken, and some of them we're going to read some of their stories on their behalf. He was a regular visitor at the coffee shop next door. I was talking to Daniel not long before he passed away, and he was telling me it was about 10 o'clock in the morning, and he'd had about 4 cups of coffee, and he wasn't drawing breath. And I decided, and I said to him, perhaps the reason why you talk so much, Daniel, is because you drink too much coffee. And he agreed with that, but he did love his coffee. When the impact of Daniel's death was far more than we've ever seen before. We've had members of the public, we've had shops and businesses around us come in and talk to us about how sad they were, and I've never seen anything like that before. It was amazing, and we've brought some flowers from the coffee shop next door and one of the other local businesses, but there was so much sadness just up and down Harley Crescent. It was incredible. Our employees, as I said, have put a memories book together for you. And we'd just like to share a couple of memories with you. So the first one is from one of the people at Condell Park. It says, I met Daniel 12 years ago, not long before his 21st birthday. Daniel's always been full of life, loving his music, loved his rock concerts that he'd attended, and we all heard about the Foo Fighters concert just recently ad nauseum. Daniel was a rock star, gaining many friends at DSA. Daniel and I will talk about his concerts he's attended, his holidays, his parties, his music, his love of the Bulldogs. This person follows the Roosters, which gave them some interesting conversations at times. And his coffee cup was never empty, it was always full. He loved his parties, he loved dancing until he could dance no more. He was helpful to others and always had a kind smile to share. Daniel kept his personal life and his work life separate. They were two different things, although they did, there were some people that he had his work and his personal stuff together. But yeah, and the last line is rock on and get the party started, Daniel. Do you want me to read this one? Yeah. We've got another poem that one of the staff has written, and it's called Circle of Life. Life has a circle of its own, some extended, some short. The dawning, the morning freshness, the midday sun beaming down, the cooling of the afternoon, in the evening as the light fades away and the stars shine brightly, we lay our heads to rest. And we've just got some words that we're going to read out on behalf of on behalf of Matthew, who's here. Matthew and Daniel were very, very close friends. They had all their morning teas and lunches together.
Hello everyone. Daniel was a happy and generous soul. I had many years of having lunchtimes and tea breaks with him. We would discuss our plans for the weekend and music we liked, and watch music videos on our phones and movie clips at times. He will always be in my memory wherever I am. Daniel touched a lot of us and we were lucky to have know him. Thank you.
Daniel was one of my greatest friends who lighted my life almost every single day with his hilarious one-liners and his overall enthusiasm for life. I can't remember the first time I met Daniel, as my memories are a bit vague from that period of my life, considering I was only young. However, I have very fond memories of actually growing up with Daniel. Even though he was twice my age, it felt as if we just understood each other, and we grew up around the same period of time mentally. I remember when I was younger, and I had a lot more energy to spend than I do now. And Daniel and I used to spend almost every day together in the pool at home, playing together and just having a good time. Funnily enough, I remember one year when my godfather, Uncle Michael, actually cooked us breakfast every morning during the summer holidays, and Daniel and I used to eat our breakfast in the spa, feeling spoiled that we had the privilege to do so. Daniel also loved WWE, and I think I've watched my fair share of wrestling with Daniel in my life so far. Thankfully, he was always kind and patient enough to explain to me who all the wrestlers were and what the rules were, so I could have more of an understanding of it all. My first ever concert